So riddle me this. How would you like to have the ability to drag and drop any element you want anywhere on a web page, no matter what WordPress theme you're using? Hello, Thrive Architect. So this is one of my all-time favorite must-have web design tools, and the best part is I think it's pretty much one of the cheapest ones I've ever used. So Thrive Architect is just a super simple drag and drop page builder plugin for WordPress. It'll replace any other page builders you're using, like lead pages, for a fraction of the price. It'll give you the ability to use custom light boxes for all your opt-ins. You can even build a slick as fuck course on your own website. It'll basically obliterate any theme limitations you have. And frankly, that doesn't even scratch the surface on what you can do. And I do mean what you can do. Thrive is super newbie and tech friendly, so it's gonna make you feel like you really are a web designer. So let me show you a couple screenshots of some pages that I built in a matter of minutes using Thrive Architect. So here's a page I created with the column feature. Each of these images is linked to one of my brand archetype bios and then just a simple call to action and a button. Here's an opt-in page for my Brandishing You challenge, and this is the same template I basically use for all my opt-in pages. That's one of the coolest features of Thrive Architect is that you can create templates, right? Full page templates like this, or just specific sections like say a call to action or something like that. Here's a Be Back Soon page I created to redirect my Brandishing You challenge opt-in page when it's on hiatus. And all of this just takes a couple containers, some headings, paragraphs, buttons, super simple. Here's a sales page I created for the Brandishing You intensive. Let me zoom in for you. So it's got uh, a countdown timer. It's got all these cool sections with cool backgrounds, photos, different colors. It's got this cool drop-down FAQ section. And again, it took me maybe an hour to put this together. So I mentioned calls to action a minute ago. Here's what I mean. So this is one of the end of post call to actions that I created. Now, anytime I create a new visual branding type post, I just add this to the end. It takes a couple clicks. No recreating that shit every time. And one more, here's a freebie vault. This is a password protected page that I created to house all my gated training and resources. So I send this to new subscribers as a thank you. Anyway, I created this with the page post feature. So you can target specific pages, posts, categories, tags, you name it. It's completely customizable. What you pull in, whether it's the feature image, the headline, the excerpt, it's all up to you and it's all customizable. So once you hover over these images, it has a transparency and it links straight to that training page. So I know, you're pumped. How about I give you a little tour around my WordPress dashboard and show you how this plugin works. So here's my WordPress dashboard, and I've just created a new page and published that. So once you upload the Thrive Architect plugin, and then you also verify your license, you'll see this green button right here appear on all your pages and posts in your WordPress dashboard, right? Edit with Thrive Architect. Now, if you click that, it'll open up the Thrive Architect dashboard in a new tab, and you can start designing away. So here's that same page I just created opened in the Thrive Architect dashboard. Now you're ready to rock and roll. You can start with the template like I mentioned, and to do that all you have to do is come over to this right side, click the content template element. That's going to load this drop down box and you can scroll to whatever page you want to load and voila, it will apply that to this new page. Now I love templates, right? So I said I use this basically the same template for all of my landing pages. So I just swap out the headlines, the dates, any bullet points that need to be swapped out, and then I change the links for my buttons. It makes it a breeze to create new opt-in offers or new webinar, sign-up pages, or whatever I'm doing. Or you can start building away. And since you obviously don't have any templates started yet, let me show you a couple of my favorite features and give you a tour around and show you how things work. All right, so the first thing I want you to get in the habit of doing is always starting with a content box. So this is going to allow you a much greater level of control just overall, right? Including things like adjusting the width or applying a background so that you don't have to do those kind of things manually to every element in a separate fashion, right? That's just a time suck. So again, the first thing I want you to get in the habit of doing is every section should be wrapped around a content box. So the first thing you do, come over to this right side and click on the content box element. Now you're going to add whatever actual design elements you want inside that content box for the section. So let's start with a simple headline. So all we're going to do is use this arrow to get back to the main menu. We're going to select paragraph. This time we're not going to click it. So if you click something, it's going to add it as the last element on the page. So if that's where you want it, by all means, go ahead and click. But if you want to put it inside something like a content box or somewhere in particular on your page, you're just going to drag it to that spot. So we're going to select paragraph and then drag it into the content box, and you can see it gives you these prompts of where it's adding it. When you have a lot of elements on your page, it can get confusing. They didn't used to have this, so this is a really cool addition that they just added the last couple months. But it'll tell you, right? So if I drop it right here, it's below the content box. If I drop it right here, it's inside the content box. So I'll just go ahead and let go of my mouse, and bam, that is now inside the content box. And you can tell because when you have an element selected, you can see the layers, and you'll see this start to build out as we add things. But right now we've got the paragraph text element selected. If we click the content box, it'll go ahead and select that whole content box. So if we had other images and buttons, it would select all that. And I'll show you that. I'll circle back to this when we have more on the page so you can really see this. But we'll go ahead and select our headline again. We'll just double click it. Now up here, when you have some sort of text element like a heading or a paragraph, this toolbar up top will pop in. You can use this, or you can still use this menu on the right, which has got a lot more options. So I usually use this top one to change to whatever heading I want. So these are the actual headings that you've got programmed or coded into your WordPress website. So I'm going to go ahead and select heading 2. I can center it. You can do all kinds of things. Over in this right side menu, you've got font size, we've got a slider, you've got font or line height, letter spacing, you've got the font color, padding and margin, you've got background style, borders, you got all kinds of stuff, right? And I'll touch on some more of this stuff as we go. This is just a really simple headline. So next, let's go ahead and add a paragraph under that. So again, we'll just drag that. We'll look for that prompt to make sure it's not below the content box. We'll go up a little bit, right there below the paragraph text. So we'll go ahead and drop that. I'm just going to paste some placeholder lorem ipsum text so that there is something in there. Now you can adjust the width of just this text box by clicking, making sure that that's the active element, coming down here to max width. And you can adjust this. You can use the slider, make it whatever you want. Now keep in mind, this is not exactly how it's going to look on every device. You've got this sidebar, so you can definitely move that, sort of see things a little bit more realistically, but you're going to have to preview things to really see how they align because you've got less, let's say, real estate here as you're designing, right? You've got this whole sidebar that's sort of taking up some space. So things will look a little bit different. In other words, 821 pixels. I'm going to go ahead and save this. You will see this reminder every 10 minutes if you do not save. But back to this. So this is 820 pixels, right? So if we previewed this, it would look wider on a full screen than it does right here in your preview on your dashboard. So just something to keep in mind. Now under that slider, you've got the alignment. So I'm going to go ahead and center that. And now that looks a lot better. All right, so let's style up this section a little bit. So I'm going to grab the content box, and if you're ever unsure, you can click any element inside and again, come back up to the top and just manually select the content box. So you can see when I click the content box, the border around the green border will go from just around the paragraph element to the entire section. So let's say I want to add some padding to the top and bottom, give this some breathing room, and add a background image. So I'm going to come over to the main menu on the right side. I'm going to come down and add padding. Now the interior numbers right here are for padding, and the exterior are for margin. Margin puts space on the outside of your element, okay? Padding puts space on the inside. So we're going to add padding on the inside. We're going to say 100 and 100. Oops, I put 200 and 100 on the bottom. Now to add the background style, we're going to come down, or the image, we're going to come down to background style. You've got all these options: solid color, image, gradient, pattern, and background effects. So we're just going to use an image. If we click that, it'll open this. We can click this. That will open your WordPress media file or folder just like it would in your WordPress dashboard. So go ahead and scroll for an image. Let's use this one. Insert into post, and bam! That already is looking better. So let's go ahead and apply that and come back and add another section. So again, we'll go ahead and add a content box to start with, and I'll add another headline. Let's say I wanted a sub-headline, so I'll go ahead and center this. Now I could drag another headline in, or I can also duplicate this headline. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And to duplicate it, you just click on the element to get that green active border, and you'll get these two options. You can delete it, or this one right here will duplicate that. So now I can select this. I could change it to a different heading, and I could come back over here, go to font size. I could dial that down. I go to letter spacing, all kinds of good stuff. Could change the color. Sky's the limit, guys. This is super cool stuff. So let's go ahead and add a button. Again, we'll make sure that's right below the heading. So for the buttons, if you double click the actual text, you can go ahead and customize that. And if you click outside the text, the actual button, and come over here, you can customize everything. So you can customize the actual style of the button. You can, we'll go ahead and apply that. You can customize the color. And if you come up here, you can also customize the hover color. So this is the color that when we hover over it, that is what it's going to turn. You can add your link. You can say whether it opens in a new window. You can control the width of your button. If you again click back on the text, you can even format that. So again, we can come to font size. We can make that larger. Sky's the limit. That is the keyword. That is like the word, the phrase du jour. All right, so let's add some padding to this container. So we'll, again, select the container, come back over here, hit the padding again. We'll do another 100 and another 100. Why do I keep putting 200? All right, another 100. And now let's add a color, just a solid color. Let's go with yellow. And we can come back up here, change the color of our text. Right? Everything. This right side menu is your magic place, right? Everything that you want to have done can pretty much be done over here, right? You just have to select that, come over here, and bam. All right, let's add one more section. I just want to show you columns. So we'll go ahead and add the content box. And now we'll drag the columns element over. So I'm going to drag that inside that content box. And I'm going to select, so you've got all these options. I'm going to select a third. So 3 columns, add a third. Now inside these columns, you can add whatever content you want, any of these elements again. So I'm going to keep it basic again, and I'm going to add an image, just like that example I showed you earlier. Come down and select some of these images, and again, insert. Now I could come over here and I can adjust the title and alt text. I can apply styling. So if I wanted it to have rounded corners or a caption or a circle or be in a Polaroid format right there. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I'm not going to apply any of that. I just wanted to show you. You can link your image, again, open it or decide if it's no follow. You've got all kinds of image effects. You've got your margin and padding again, and then even here, rounded corners, we can just manually give the image some rounded corners. Now again, I'm going to duplicate this, and then if I click that, it'll have this crosshairs right in the center, and I'm just going to drag that to the next column. If I click that and come back over the menu, I can click right here, change image, and I can grab another image. So I'm going to do that one more time, duplicate it, drag that over to this third column, select that, and change the image. So pretty cool. So let's give this some more padding. Actually, this time let's give it some margin. So I want you to see this actually pushes the container down. So like I said, this gives space on the outside of the element. Let me show you padding in reverse, okay? Or padding. So this was outside. If I change that to 0, and I bumped this up to what is 15 right now, which is that site space. So you see, the green border is here and this space is inside the element, okay? I want it on the outside, so I'm going to add it up here, and I'm going to add it below. Perfect. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more padding inside here, and I'm going to add a solid color background. Perfect. Just kind of wanted to show you how that image section worked because images, I know, are huge. I'm a visual girl. All right, there are so many cool features and so little time today. I mean, we've only touched on the foundation section so far. So what I want to do is breeze through and show you some of my favorite elements and some of the more fancy elements and features that are included in Thrive Architect. So I'm not going to add a content box or anything like that. I just want to kind of show you these so you can get really geeked out and understand the true potential of this tool on your website. So one of my favorites, countdowns, love those. So completely customizable, right? So you can change the color, you can change all the dates, any text that shows up, and you can even change the style, right? Pretty cool. Another one of my all-time favorites, where is it? It is the content reveal. This one's so cool. So basically, if you have, okay, this is a workaround, right? So deadline funnel is all the rage, right? This ability to be able to automatically redirect a page after a certain amount of time, right? So let's say you want to offer a one-time 20-minute grab it while it's hot kind of offer after someone opts in, right? So a tripwire, right? Some $10, $5, $20 product that you want to bank on that instantaneous buy, right? Well, you usually need super fancy software, right? Like Deadline Funnel that'll automatically redirect the page, all that stuff. You don't need it with Thrive. That's exactly what the content reveal is. So you choose the minute and seconds that this page, that this content's going to get revealed. Now, it can either be this content right here, or here's the cool part, you can actually redirect it. Okay, so you can redirect the page. So 20-minute countdown ends, they didn't grab the offer, you redirect that link. After 20 minutes, this page redirects to another page. So cool. Another cool feature is, so a lot of different software and apps will give you, even a lot of email marketing software will give you just a piece of HTML code to add to your site. So right here, just click the HTML element. It'll open this window. You just paste in whatever code you need, whether that's a countdown timer or some sort of sharing plugin like a click to tweet or whatever it is. It's that simple. Oh, they've got a whole icon library. I love their icons, especially for my sales pages. So you can select any icon. Again, what do you think? Totally customizable. I know, I'm getting annoying. I do that. So you can apply different colors, you can change different sizes. Oh, so let me show you some of the cool templates that they come with. So the first one is, where is it? Testimonials. So there's all kinds of pre-designed templates they have that are super cool. So let's see, I'll just select this one. I'll scroll through it for a sec just so you can see them. So all kinds of options, all kinds of styles. I'll just select this one and load it. And again, each one of these elements are completely customizable. Colors, right? So the background right here, if you just scroll down, again, you can click that. Any of the verbiage, it'll keep these, the typography. It's pretty cool. Another one that has quite a few cool templates is the guarantee box. So we love those on our sales pages, right? So let me scroll through and show you some of the styles that they have. Just click up here. You can add your own badge, change the text, change the gradient at the bottom, right? Pick whatever colors you want. All right there laid out for you. Oh, another cool element I love is the ability to put WordPress content. So if we click that, if you want to actually add something you're just more comfortable in the WordPress dashboard, this is how you can get to it inside Thrive. So you just select the WordPress content, it'll open this quasi WordPress dashboard, and it works exactly like your typical page post editor. Oh, and one last section that has some really cool templates you're going to love is the styled box. So they've got a range of designs here as well. And you're going to see a lot of them have a guarantee box and a testimonial box, and everything kind of matches, right? So they have different sort of designs, but you can find a common thread between their templates and use that style for all the different elements that you need. So we'll go ahead and grab that one. Actually, I think there was one down here I loved. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you these. So these are really cool. I love these photo templates. Let me add, let's add this one. This is one of my favorites. And it's, again, super easy to customize. It's all drag and drop. So I can change this image, select that. I can select this. It'll keep that typography. Let me show you. Right, and we can select that, come over, excuse me, and make that a little bit smaller. Again, super cool. And all of this, the background, everything. This is all customizable. You come down here, that's where you can change the gradient. You can change the image inside. Two more sections that are killer for sales pages are the toggle, right? So a lot of us love these for the FAQs. So you've got your question here, and then you can add any element to this content area, right? So it can be a paragraph, but it can also be images, columns. You can have, Twitter buttons or whatever you want. And you can just keep adding these different, these toggles for any questions or anything that you have. And the tabs pretty much work the same way. Let me show you those. So the tabs, this is what I love to create for my courses. So this is the element I use. So I'll name this Module 1, Module 2. And again, you can throw anything in these tabs. So I'm on tab 1. I can come back over to the elements. I can select a video. I can throw that in this tab. I can insert my video. I can insert a button under that video. Right? I can put all my module content and then bam, come over to the second tab, design that up. This is the coolest thing, right? I mean, you can host your own courses on your website. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do that if it's a huge course, but like a small mini course, a couple modules, hell yeah, that's exactly where I host my courses before I wanted to drop some bread on Teachable. Oh, I almost forgot one other of the areas that has some really cool killer templates is the call to action. So again, let me scroll through some of these. So you can use these sections and you don't even need to build out the headline and paragraph. You just customize it, right? So it's already got the button. It's already got the design element there. It's already got sort of the design built in. You're just going to customize it with whatever colors and look and that kind of thing that you want. So you've got all kinds of things, right? I'm not going to go into all of it. Click to tweet. You can display credit card images next to your buy buttons. You've got a couple different features for comments, Google Maps, lead generations, progress bars, styled lists, star ratings, tables, table of contents, you name it. I'm betting you probably 99% you'll be able to accomplish it using Thrive Architect. One more thing I want to show you was that post grid example that I showed you for my freebies vault, because I think that's such a killer idea. I think a lot of us want to create some sort of vault or resource page for our subscribers. And this is just the freaking easiest way to do it. So if you select the post grid element, click that, and then add, it's going to populate with some defaults, and all this can be customized. So if you just come up to Edit Grid Options, you can control the number of columns, the way the grid displays, what actual elements are popping in. Let me save this so that message will go away. So you can choose to not have the feature image appear or any of these other 4 elements. You can change the order. So if you wanted the title to appear before the featured image and then have the excerpt and the read more. But right here, this is cool. So you can select pages, posts, media. I've got a couple options in here you may not have because I've got other functionality on my theme, like Ninja pop-ups and portfolios and A/B testing and things like that. But there's all kinds of ways. You can say how many posts you want. You can decide the order. You can decide if you want the more recent, and then right here is where. So let's say you selected posts, and then you only want a certain category. So let's say you can start searching, or you can start typing. Let's see, I think I have a web design somewhere. Let's see, graphic design. So you can say only posts that are tagged with or assigned the category graphic design. You can do the same thing for tags. If you have multiple offers, you can just pull in authors, you can pull in that, and you can specify individual posts or pages. So again, totally, completely customizable, including all the sizes, for the actual images, all of that. Let me click on that. Oops. Right here, image size, font size of your title, your read more link color. So literally you can build your freebies vault. You just assign every page you want with a category like freebie. Bam, you can have that page created in literally a minute or 2. I mean, it's that simple. Add a headline and this is your page right here. It doesn't get much simpler and cooler than that. All right, 3 last golden nuggets before we wrap up. If you want to preview this page at any point, make sure you save it first, and then click these 3 dots at the bottom and select preview, and it'll open up a preview of your page in a separate tab. Next, if you want to save your page as a template, you just come down here, save as content template, name your template, and then save it. This is also where you can choose their own templates. So let me show you. You've also got these templates. Some of them you're going to have to purchase. Most of them are default. So you can even start, again, think lead pages, only a fraction of the price. I don't use any of these templates. Branding and design is kind of my thing, but no shame in starting with one of these. They make it super simple. All right, and one last thing, you're gonna love this. All right, so you want mobile responsive, right? And it's so hard to tell what shit is gonna look like on all these devices. Again, Thrive Architect makes it super simple. So if you come down to the bottom of the screen right here, this device icon, if you click that, you have the ability to check out this page, exactly how it'll look on, which you're designing on desktop, so you can look at tablet and mobile. So let's select tablet. Bam, it will literally show you. Now here's the really cool part, because it's cool to see it, but when you see like, fuck, I don't want like how it's butted up because it's such a small screen. You can adjust everything right here, and it's going to code it for that mobile device, right? You can do all of this mobile responsive shit and never touch coding yourself, right? So let's say I wanted to add some padding to the right and left. I'm just going to click that element, come over here. Let's select 50 on each side. Oops. 50 on this side. Now I'm going to go back to the desktop because nothing's going to have changed. That didn't add any more padding on the desktop version. It only applied that on the specific size screen for a tablet. So same thing, I can make this button a lot bigger so that it actually doesn't look funky, right? And that's not going to change anything on the desktop. The desktop is still going to stay the same. So you can go through and again, tackle the same thing with mobile. I love that. So you can know that your pages are going to appear absolutely perfectly just the way you want them on every device. I mean, that is so fucking important. And Thrive gives it to you right there. Again, drag and drop style. So I'm pretty sure you're probably beyond pumped, ready to get in here, already understand this is limitless possibilities. So please grab it. Make your life so much easier. Stop worrying about what your theme can and cannot do and getting 912 more plugins to be able to accomplish what you're trying to do. Just make your life so much easier. Get Thrive Architect. So if you're ready to get your hands on Thrive Architect, click that shiny button below. That is my affiliate link, so I will get the little tiny pot of gold at the end. But as you can see, I am a diehard Thrive loyalist, and I mean, this is a web designer. I charge thousands and thousands and thousands to design other people's websites. And on my own, I use a $49 tool, I think it is. So it is straight from the horse's mouth. This is the tool you want if you're on WordPress. Get it, grab it. And if you have any questions, come to your girl, your Thrive Ride or Die. I am Dre Beltrami. Thanks so much for geeking out with me today, and happy thriving. Later.